And hello fellow Techers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks. And yes, we finally managed to get the Valour, even though it wasn't easy at the end. Oh my gosh, was it crazy hard. Anyway, but we did manage to get it. So today we're going to talk about the Valour, we're going to talk about crossplay. So without further ado, let's go! Okay, so I have two games for you today, guys. Now these are not anything spectacular. These are kind of my first games with the Valour after I finished my grind, and my grind was absolutely horrific. I don't know what happened that day. My teams were just falling down. I couldn't really get anything going that day. You'll see in this game what's gonna happen here, because this was in the same day that I recorded this game. So I've played only 12 games in Valour, I think, total, and these are probably my best games out of the 12. Two best games out of the 12. The both will be over 5k. Now this is not even close what this tank is capable of, so I'm probably gonna have much better games than this, but you know, just to show it off at the start here. And I'm sure all of you has probably already finished the grind. I probably was one of the last ones, because I was left with like a couple days before, or 2 or 3 days before this grind was finished. So yeah, here we are in a Valour, and let's touch base on the crossplay a little bit. So I can't say unlike, I think everyone's pretty much very excited about crossplay. I don't think there are any people that wouldn't be excited about it. Increasing the population base in the game, and maybe stabilizing some of the matchmaking issues that Wargaming currently has. Maybe if we have, you know, 2, 3 or 4 good players per side, including PS4 and Xbox players, maybe that will stabilize things in the game. I think it's gonna make it a little bit better for sure. I'm sure the games will be probably longer, and most likely there won't be so many ruffle stomps as we see nowadays, or steamrolls, whatever you want to call that. I am very much for it. So any of you PS4 players out there, if you see me on the battlefield, give me a shout out, send me a message, tell me that you watch my channel or that you know me from somewhere. That would be greatly appreciated. And if you manage to kill me on the battlefield, props to you for sure. So yeah, I'm extremely excited about it. Even though I don't play as often as I used to, I still only play maybe once a week, because time only permits for so much. You know, I still work full-time. There's family things to take care of pretty much almost every day. So yeah, it's not easy for me to make videos plus play game all the time. So anyway, it would be nice to meet all of you guys from PS4. And if you run into me on the battlefield, don't hesitate to send a message and say hi. Anyway, without further ado, going back to the Valour. This game was actually one of the better ones, because the team didn't really fall apart that quick. But you know, in this game, I would have wished that we had some snipers sitting at B6, somewhere around there, or C7, where this light thing is right now, somewhere around there. Because what's gonna happen later on, it's gonna pretty much decide the fate of this game. Because the position that I'm in now is a very strong position, and if my team would push up through here so that we can win this area of the map, we definitely have access to the encounter flag from here, and it's a high ground, so it would be so much easier if we actually win that part of the map. But the enemy started to cap the base. I don't know if that's a good move or not, but I decided to help the greenies. I didn't know whether they were going to come back and, you know, try to reset, but I was in a position to help here. And look at this RNG here on this Russian heavy tank, Object 705. I can damage that guy. And that's the thing with the Valour gun I noticed in the first few games. It's very hit and miss. If he wants to work, he works. If he doesn't want to work, he won't work. So right here you can see these guys are overexposing themselves, and there's no one that can put shots into them. So that's what I was saying. If someone was back sniping from position B6, somewhere around there, these guys wouldn't come up and overexpose themselves in order to hit me, because they're really on top of the ridge, right? So I'm gonna have a nice exchange with this guy over here. I think he was the best player on the opposing team, and you know, he's an OP tank. I'm sort of an OP tank, So my priority was taking him out of the game because he was penning me early. He's tracking me. He's testing my repair skills, my crew, whether they can, you know, repair track quickly or not, as you can see. So that's what he was trying to do. I'm pretty sure about that. I was trying to hit his weak spot, that little light on the left-hand side. If you look at his turret, you can actually pen through there, but I missed my shell because of accuracy of this gun supposed to be good, but in many cases it's not. And yeah, he's gonna give me hell because he keeps me concentrated on him instead of me trying to fight other reds on the team, right? So that's exactly what he's doing. He's preoccupying me, and at this point my goal was to try to get him down in health and maybe take him out of the game. That's what my thinking was. But I'm having trouble penetrating his strong turret, and that tank, man, Kampfpanzer 50T is a great tank so far. I don't know if it's ever gonna get nerfed, maybe, but right now it's one of my go-to tanks when the RAF gets going. I'm definitely playing that tank. Anyway, I'm trying to re-angle here because I'm trying to set up for him, make it difficult for him to hit me in a side. That's why I kind of tried to re-angle, but he's changing his attention to somebody else at this point in time. I think the tank that's at D2. So this gives me opportunity to come up here, put a few shells into these guys. So we're gonna try to hit this Hollenhund. We put a shell into him, and we're gonna keep on doing the same thing. But as you noticed already, look at my team. My team's pretty much vanished. Now the Death Star shows up. Can we put a shell into him? Let's see. Yeah, okay, we put a shell into him, and Kampfpanzer shows up again, so we're gonna have to fight him, unfortunately. But at this point, there's nothing I can do. I'm already stuck in this position. I'm gonna have to push, win or lose. There's no other way to work this. See, right there, that shot goes through his light. Kind of, I don't know what that is. It's a viewfinder or something in his turret on the right-hand side of his turret and left-hand side when I'm looking at it, right? So he's almost dead right now, so we're gonna try to come up here and take him out of the game. That's what I was thinking. I'm still a two-shot to him, but then I see this Death Star, so yeah, no, I don't want to overcommit. But I think that light tank on our light tank is the same kind of idea, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come up here right now. We're gonna dig this shot, but he's not shooting, so we're gonna go forward and, yeah, right there, take him out of the game. So, as you can see, we already lost the game. There's nothing we could do. I mean, all I gotta do is just put a few more shells into these guys, and after that, pretty much game over, right? That was my evening. That was my whole evening of gaming. I don't know what my win rate was that day, but it was pretty shitty, to be honest. So yeah, because of matchmaking, what was going on that night, there's no way I could have put up a better game than the two that I had over here. But I know that at some point the good games will come, and once they do, I will share them with you guys, and we'll go from there. So far, how am I liking this tank? I think it's great, as long as you put it in a good position, because in many maps that you don't have ridges, flat ground like city maps, it's going to be difficult for you to play this tank. You're going to have to find rebel piles in order to play off or something like that. But yeah, the hull is easy penetratable by pretty much anything. Now look at my team, man, like seriously. And that's the problem in those games recently. I hope that Crossplay will fix this type of matchmaking. Let's see what happens. I'm really positive on this. Anyway, let's skip to the second game of the evening. And second game is on Thiefful Ridge, one of my favorite maps. I do really like it. I don't know if I like it in this variant. It's very flattened out kind of variant, easy for Artie to hit. But in this situation, no Artie. No Artie, half success. Half success already because no Artie. So what we're gonna do is the same thing I always do on this map. And you guys should know by now what I do on this map. Yeah, we're gonna go up to position F3. That's exactly what we're gonna do. And we're gonna fight from there. Alright, let's get going. Let's get going. So look at the speed on this tank. Downhill, 53, 52, 50 kilometers an hour. Pretty fast. We'll get to position really quickly. Flat ground, let's see, water, 45 kilometers an hour. Still very nice. 40 kilometers an hour right there. Yeah, pretty nice speed. So this tank is almost like a medium tank. It's definitely a better chieftain. It sort of plays like, I would say, sharpshooter. It would be very similar play style, because of the mobility is quite similar. And I guess Valour would have an advantage climbing up hills a little bit. I think Sharpshooter lacks a little bit in engine power there. But, and of course, it has a much stronger turret because no real weak spots on the turret, while Sharpshooter still has the cupola because of the Chieftain turret, right? But yeah, this tank, if you know how to play it, if you put it in the right position like this is hold down position here, that's what I'm gonna use. It's going to be amazing, and you guys are gonna love this tank for sure. So we're gonna try to put some shells here. We put a shell into this FV 215B 183, aka Death Star, and we're gonna focus him for a little bit here. We bounced the second shell, unfortunately. Now, definitely there's something with this gun, trolly nature of that gun, but sometimes it just doesn't work, and I don't know what it is yet. I need to play this tank a little bit more to understand. Now I do have my Super Conqueror crew in this tank right now, which is reasonably good. It's got about 8 skills or perks or something like that. So again, this position, man, you can find shots all around, especially if the opposition pushes like this. You will find shots. Now, if there's RD in play, yeah, that's completely different game style. You're gonna have to shoot, you're gonna have to disappear, you're gonna have to come back, and then repeat. Step and repeat, do the same thing, right? See if we can shoot this light tank. Yes, we can, but look at that. Light tank is allowed to just kind of YOLO all the way around, and no one is hitting him except for me. What the crap is that? Seriously, I'm really frustrated about it. So he hits me twice because my hull is butter. It's easy, you know, to penetrate me through the hull, but no one manages to hit him except someone at the end right there. Those are the teams nowadays, boys and girls. You gotta aim your shots, you gotta hit your shots, you gotta lead your shots. If you don't do that, if you don't penetrate the opponents, your team will not win. You have to be able to penetrate. So learn your weak spots. Keep on learning the tank's weak spots. Watch the videos. See where you can penetrate certain tanks. See how you need to lead your shots. Check what is the shell velocity of your shells. How much do you have to lead? I know it's a lot of information for a lot of young players. Or new players to the game, not young. Because new players can be freaking old too, right? Just like me. But you know what I'm saying, right? You gotta learn about this game. I mean, in order to be good, to play this game, you have to be good at this game. If you want to be good at this game, you need to learn. And you need to learn the stats. You need to learn how to use those stats in your advantage. And most of all, the most important thing is you learn your tank's armor, right? How you can angle, how you position. Anyway, trollish nature of this gun goes into the track of object 704. Can we put another shell into him? Yes, we can. Another thing I noticed about this gun, it low rolls the crap out of any tank in a game. I can't believe how many low rolls I had in this tank. The average damage is supposed to be 440. How many times am I rolling below 400? Quite a few in the 12 games that I played. That's really, really surprising. So Wargaming gave us this amazing tank, yet I don't know what they're doing with that RNG when it comes to average roll on a pen. Anyway, we hit this IS-4 and he's overexposing, so we're going to continue doing that. And as you notice, like, this position here is great because you can switch around, you know, from one side to the next, and you will have shots. And that's what this tank is great at. Use that rate of fire. I keep on hitting those shots. I just wish it would be, you know, rolling a little bit higher than this. I mean, every shot is close to 400, to be honest. And I don't know how that missed, but anyway. So, our base is under siege right now. We're going to have to stick around in this position and defend our base as well as we can. So that's what we're going to do. We're not going to overexpose. As long as opposition is not capping our base, we're okay to sit in this position. Once they do, we're going to have to start thinking about getting closer into the base. But object 260. Yeah, da Russia, da strong tank, yes. No penetrating with British tanks. No, not possible. Anyway, maybe a boring game, but we're still continuing doing the same thing. In many cases, you have to do less than more. If you do less than more, you'll have, you know, better luck at this game, and you're gonna have better result at this game. Remember, if you push hard, if you're gonna overexpose yourself because you're impatient, it's gonna cost you. So the main thing in this game is remain patient, and that's what I'm trying to do, remain patient. Now, if these guys are gonna stop progress, and eventually they will, I'm gonna have to push forward for final damage. I was thinking about this right now, but there's still a medium tank on my left hand side. I was a little bit worried about him, but at this point in time I was like, you know what, I got enough HP, I gotta go for it. I gotta, you know, put a few shells here and there in order to raise my damage number. That's what I was thinking. So end game damage is very important, guys. If you want to raise your damage number, end game damage is very important to know when to push, when to engage, so that you don't push into 2 or 3 tanks. Maybe you can catch them isolated, still use your tank's advantages in order to get your final damage, like I did here, right? So we're gonna continue and try to get this guy out of the game. Object 260. I don't know if I'm gonna get a clear shot at him. Let's see if we can. Oh, he's behind that building, so I don't know if I'm gonna get... Oh yeah, he came out. Yes, we got the kill on him, and now we're gonna chase the light tank. And light tank chase on a big map like this is a little bit difficult for slow tanks, but for something like Valour, which you know, this tank moves really good, it's not that difficult. But anyway, we're not going to watch me chase this light tank. Let's fast forward to the end of the game and see how we did. So unfortunately, we did not manage to get to the light tank. We didn't get the final kill. He didn't want to get killed by Space Bandit today. He made it clear. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's take a look at the post-game stats and see how we did. So we finished with what? 5.8k damage, 643 assisted damage. Nothing spectacular for this tank. I saw people putting ridiculous amounts of damage in this tank, but still a relatively good game with 1353 base XP and 3 kills. So there we have it. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have a chance, go check out CloneGuy72 and Garadini. Links to their channels are in the description section below. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking. Space Bandit, checking out.